What would it take for the United States to execute a higher-risk operation against a sitting head of state in one of the most complex urban environments in Latin America? Fighter jets, electronic warfare aircraft, special operations helicopters, cyber units, satellites, and elite ground forces, all synchronized within hours. In recent months, multiple reports and speculative analyses have reignited debates about how such an operation would even be possible. Today, we're not here to confirm rumors. We are here to analyze what U.S. military doctrine, equipment, and capabilities would require for an operation of that scale. First, let's be crystal clear. This video is an analytical breakdown, not a confirmation of any specific events. No government has released a full, verified account of such an operation. Everything we're about to discuss is based entirely on public military doctrine, known U.S. equipment, historical precedents, and expert analysis. Our goal is simple. If such an operation were attempted, what would it realistically involve? What are the moving parts, the risks, and the technologies that would define its success or failure? Let's get into it. Venezuela presents one of the most challenging operational environments in the Western Hemisphere. It has dense urban areas, loyalist military units, layered air defenses, foreign-supplied radar systems, and an extreme level of political sensitivity. All of these factors make any kinetic action extraordinarily complex. Historically, U.S. operations against high-value targets, from Noriega in Panama to Bin Laden in Pakistan, relied on a core set of principles: speed, surprise, information, dominance, and overwhelming technological superiority. Any modern operation would follow these same principles, but with 21st century tools. The objective isn't to start a war, but to achieve a very specific, limited goal before an adversary can even react. It's a surgical strike, not a sledgehammer. To understand how that surgery would be performed, we have to start where every modern military mission begins. Not on the ground, but high above it. No special operations mission begins with boots on the ground. It begins in the air, and just as importantly, in the electromagnetic spectrum. U.S. military doctrine absolutely requires air superiority, or, even better, air dominance, before inserting any elite unit into a hostile area. This is non-negotiable. Aircraft like the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II would likely play a central role, but their primary job wouldn't necessarily be to drop bombs. It would be to ensure that nothing else can fly, and nothing on the ground can see them coming. These fifth-generation fighters are defined by stealth. Their shapes are designed to deflect radar waves, their materials absorb them, and their engines mask their heat signatures. This drastically reduces their radar cross-section, making them incredibly difficult to detect, let alone track or target. But stealth is only half the story. The other half is sensor fusion. These jets collect massive amounts of data from their own advanced radars, infrared sensors, and electronic listening systems. They then fuse all that information into a single, coherent picture of the battle space for the pilot. Critically, they can also share this picture with other friendly assets, other planes, ships, and ground troops, creating a powerful, networked web of information. This allows them to see everything, while remaining nearly invisible themselves. Now, while stealth fighters are clearing the skies, another silent battle is taking place. Modern warfare is not decided by bullets and bombs alone. Electronic warfare aircraft, like the EA-18G Growler, specialize in one mission: making enemy sensors blind, deaf, or confused. They don't just hide from radar. They actively attack it with powerful electronic signals. This can take two forms: jamming and spoofing. Jamming is like shouting static into an enemy's radio, overwhelming their radar with noise so they can't see anything. Spoofing is more subtle. It's like feeding them false information, creating ghost targets on their screens to distract and mislead them. At the same time, cyber units can target an adversary's communication nodes, command networks, and data links. This disrupts their ability to coordinate a response without firing a single shot. Imagine a military commander who suddenly can't talk to his air defense batteries, or an officer whose orders never reach his troops. The entire command structure starts to crumble from within. The key advantage here is that these non-kinetic effects, spoofing and cyberattacks, can neutralize threats and create confusion while significantly reducing the risk of civilian casualties. You're disabling the system, not destroying the city. Only after the airspace is controlled and the enemy's senses are crippled does the insertion phase begin. This is the domain of the U.S. Army's 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, better known as the Night Stalkers. Their helicopters, like the heavy-lift MH-47G Chinook and the versatile MH-60 Black Hawk, are designed for one purpose: to penetrate denied airspace at night, undetected, and deliver special operations forces directly to the target. These are not standard helicopters. They are packed with advanced technology. Their terrain-following radar allows them to fly extremely low, hugging the contours of the Earth to stay below enemy radar coverage, even in complete darkness or bad weather. Their engines are fitted with infrared suppressors that cool the hot exhaust gases, making them much harder to spot with heat-seeking missiles. The rotor blades are designed to have a lower acoustic profile, making them quieter than conventional helicopters. The pilots, flying with advanced night vision goggles fully integrated into their helmets, are among the best in the world. Their motto is night stalkers don't quit, and their job is to make the impossible flight possible, ensuring the ground team arrives on target, on time, every time. Once on the ground, the mission shifts to the direct action element, likely a unit such as Delta Force. These operators function under a doctrine of speed, precision, and discrimination. Their objective is not to engage in a prolonged firefight, but to achieve rapid control of the target location, execute their mission, and get out. Every second spent on the ground increases the risk of a coordinated enemy response, which is why timing is everything. Their weapons and equipment are all optimized for this reality. Rifles are typically modular, suppressed to reduce sound and muzzle flash, and chambered for close-quarters battle. Their methods for breaching doors and walls are designed for speed and surprise, creating an entry point when and where the defenders least expect it. Perhaps most importantly, they operate under strict rules of engagement designed to minimize collateral damage and avoid harming non-combatants. The goal is surgical precision to neutralize the specific threat and nothing else. This isn't about overwhelming firepower. It's about the precise application of force in a very small window of time. The success of the entire operation hinges on the few minutes they spend inside the target location. Extraction is often the most dangerous part of any special operations mission. Once the primary objectives are achieved, the force must withdraw before local or external actors can effectively react. The element of surprise is gone. The enemy knows where you are and what you've done. This is where all the previous phases come back into play. Stealth fighters and electronic warfare aircraft provide top cover, ensuring the withdrawal path remains clear of threats. Other assets might create diversions elsewhere to draw attention away from the exfiltration route. The Night Stalker's helicopters return, often to a different location than where they landed, to pick up the team. Speed is paramount. The window to get out safely is closing by the second. A successful mission isn't just about getting to the target. It's about getting everyone back home. Any delay, any mechanical failure, or any unexpected resistance during this phase can turn a success into a catastrophe. This is why extraction plans are just as detailed and rehearsed as the insertion and assault plans. So, with all these moving parts, why do the details of such operations almost always remain secret? The most important detail about any special operation is often the one you never hear about publicly. A mission is either a success or a failure. But what remains classified is often the unglamorous truth, the close calls, the equipment malfunctions, the near discoveries, and the split-second decisions that narrowly avert a disaster. Releasing these details would provide adversaries with a blueprint of U.S. tactics, techniques, and procedures. It would reveal vulnerabilities in both U.S. capabilities and the adversary's defenses. For this reason, silence is not an absence of information. It is a core component of military doctrine. The things that are never spoken of are often the most valuable lessons learned. In our next episode, we'll do a deep dive into the specific aircraft platforms that would be required for an operation of this magnitude, and we'll explain why some of the most critical assets involved would never be visible to the public or even show up on a radar screen. If you're looking for a serious, no-hype, technical breakdown of modern military operations, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and let us know in the comments what military system or doctrine you want us to analyze next. Thanks for watching.